everyone. Welcome to Channel World Seed. My name is Francine Sayok from the International Seed Federation, and we are officially 34 days away from Barcelona, and all of us here at the ISF Secretariat are very, very excited to see all of you after so many years of not having an in-person Congress. Well, today I am joined by the members of ISF's technical team to talk about the 6 panels that are taking place at the World Seed Congress 2022, starting with Secretary General Michael Keller. I'm sure there's lots of interesting discussions that will come out from those panels. But first, Michael, how is the Congress shaping up?
Oh, Francine, if I think back 30 days back, we had our relaunch of our Congress because, you know, we had to change our Congress venue and hotel. And we were sitting there, oh, can we organize it? Can we welcome everybody? And I must admit, 30 days later, it's fantastic to see. That means the dynamics we have now also with regard to registration is really impressive. We get the feeling now people not only want to come together, people will come together again in 34 days. At this stage, and again, what we're always saying, we are so happy to meet again. People are so happy to engage again. Figures are important, but
yes,
really more
give
important.
us the figures, Michael.
I will give you the figure. That means at this stage today, a very brand new, just some minutes ago, we have now 1,216 participants coming to the Congress. Out of these 1,216, you know, it's split it in different groups. But what is really important for us, because we know that's a major event for the traders of the world, for the seed companies to prepare next business years. We have over 1,050 now delegates registered. And we have accompanying persons. And I'm very happy also that we have a lot of accompanying persons because we reshaped also the accompanying person program. There is no more accompanying person program, but we, however, opened up the Congress, also opening ceremony, farewell dinner for accompanying persons, because at the end we are in one world, we are together. We would like to have everybody coming. That means at this stage, really extremely nice number. And I can tell you since now 10 days, figures are steadily increasing. What is also important, because I think it's a business moment, but also it's a moment for exhibition. And the exhibition for we reshape, we explained this last time, we have now the same number of exhibitors coming than in Nice, which was the record-breaking year with 1,700 participants. I mean, 34 booths now sold, which is extremely exciting. The whole setup is exciting, and I'm pretty much sure there will be other exhibitors still coming, because we have still a couple of days to go for registration.
Yes, and the trading floor, how is it looking?
My goodness, it's so good to see. That means when I remember like 30 days ago, we had nearly 110 trading tables sold, and today we have doubled. We have 200 trading tables. I think that's really an impressive figure for us. Exactly the same number of those we sold also in Nice. And I think that's really good to see, because it shows also a lot of companies still have not registered all their employees. That means they're making the bookings for trading floors. They are making even booking. We know from companies they booked hotels, but they haven't yet registered, because they know exactly can register until early May. And I think that's giving us also, we have all our dream figures, which we will not reveal here, but one day we will tell about our figures. But it's exciting to see, and I'm pretty much sure there will be quite more people coming.
That's really cool, Michael. And for those who are joining us on social media, please use the comment section to send questions for Michael or for my other colleagues, Shabby, Rose, and Ben. We have someone saying hello to us, Phillips. He said, hello, everyone. Hello, Philip. Thanks for joining us. Now, this is about the panels now, Michael. I want to ask about 2 of the 6 panels that we have. The first one being about seed resilience. What makes this interesting, Michael, and why do we need a panel on seed resilience?
Yeah, first of all, I think it's an initiative. Many of you remember perhaps during our virtual Congress, we launched our seed resilience initiative, because we felt also in these times of COVID, now also in times, first time since many years back, war in Europe, seed resilience, seeds. The capacity for farmer to have seeds on the ground is more than ever important. We have climate change issues. I think, therefore, we said we need to launch this, and we need to work together with partners to build this seed resilience. And I'm extremely excited to have here a round table, which brings together at the end what we always say: we need to work together in partnership. We have representative of a government who takes a lot of initiative. It's Marion from the Dutch government. They're taking initiative around the world. We have also, and that's really, I'm very happy they are coming, Shishi, who is working for an NGO, also somehow on the ground, day in, day out, involved on community breeding, seeds for farmers, subsistence farmers, also engaged, and we have an engagement even together in an initiative on building inclusive seed systems. And then we have also, and I think we should not forget, there are lots of initiatives also coming from the private sector yet today, and Shoshan from Fair Planet, who is somehow representing a couple of private companies engaged on the ground currently in Ethiopia, tomorrow in Rwanda, who are taking initiatives to build seed supply on the ground. That means you see here yet 3 different pillars. And the 4th pillar, and I'm super happy that Jan is joining us from the CGIAR system, international organizations. We know there's massive investment in breeding, massive investment also to build seed supply chains from CGIAR. We heard they got additional funds recently also. And this is then the complementarity between CGIAR system, between NGO activities, between the private seed sector and the governments. And I think this can give us a nice picture on what is happening, and at the end to give us the feeling, hey, we need to partner beyond boundaries to build seed resilience. And I think here I need to insist also on the presence of our incoming presidents, Marco van Leuven from Rikswan, who is somehow also one of the key he pushed us the most also to take this initiative. And I think his contribution will also be very exciting, also somehow to lay down what will happen during the next years on this seed resilience.
Very good. We have some comments from social media. Just wanted to say hello to all of us, to all of those following us today. From Yesir, he says, hello, Francine and Michael. Yesir is, of course, one of the members of the communications expert group.
We know him well.
Yes. Looking forward to seeing you in Barcelona, Yesir. You talked a lot about seed resilience, and I know May 17th is a day of seed resilience for the ISF Congress. How does this panel kind of anchor that whole theme of seed resilience? I
think, first of all, that we further discuss with our partners what we can do in the future, but also that we use it within the sector to communicate around this seed resilience. Because I think for the moment we launched it, but we need now really to think how we can become also more concrete in the future on this one. And therefore we will use throughout this day the opportunities to engage on this topic. There will be lots of meetings also happening with this partner to further foster and strengthen the relationship between all of us. Therefore, I'm excited to have this day. We will see if it's flying, if we can build broader engagement, but it's good to have specifically this day dedicated on this topic.
All right, now I want to talk about your second panel, Michael. The reality check of the relationship between the seed sector and farmers. That's a really good title. What insights are you expecting to hear from this panel?
I think for us, it's again, because very often we are questioning, hey, what is your relationship as private seed sector with farmers? And at the end, it's about us. The relationship with farmers and the seed sector is day in, day out, what we are doing on the ground to provide the varieties the farmer needs. And I think, therefore, it's absolutely essential to sit down together again. And I'm super excited to have here 2 important representatives from the farmers organization. One is the Pan-African Farmers Organization's president, Elizabeth, joining us. It's important to hear, to listen also from her, how she perceives the relationship with farmers, how she perceives also the needs farmers have with regard to the private seed sector. And there can be questions, that's also normal. But I think what we're all looking for is we want to together to achieve sustainable development goals. And I think it's perfect to have this open discussion. And at the same, we have a representative from US Farmers Organization with Mark joining us, which is certainly another perspective provided by farmers. But I think that's also the reality. There is not only subsistence farmers or big farms existing. That's this diversity we have within the seed sector, but which is also existing at the level of farmers. And therefore, we have also to adapt ourselves how we can provide seed supply to this diversity of farmers. And on top of this, we have Lorena Basso from Basso Seeds also providing her perspective from what is happening in South America with examples of the private sector. And I think we need to highlight this one. We'll have an opening speech of the World Food Prize winner, Simon. Everybody knows Simon, and I think we are all humbled to see him coming. Is it last time? I don't know, but he is coming, and he will give us his insight why he founded his company so many years back, started from scratch. Somehow he felt the need for farmers to have quality seeds. And I think to go back from where he's coming and where also his company is today is extremely exciting, can help us also to further fine tune. And potentially, and here I'm saying potentially, we will have also closing remarks of Beth Bechtel, who is the Deputy Director of FAO. We know we had recently a seed conference really dedicated on the topic of seeds, where we really participate in a very active manner. And it will be really also exciting to hear from her, outcomes of the seed conference. What will be the next steps? Again, it's about the relationship to farmers. Again, it's about bringing seeds to the farmers everywhere.
Yeah, and I guess we could say that the seed sector's most important partner are the farmers. And I'm personally looking forward to Simon Groth's inspirational speech. All right, before we dive into the next panels, we'd like to let you know that you can follow the highlights of these panels through Channel World Seed. On site, we will have a studio, Channel World Seed. This is a first one for the Congress. It will be in the exhibition area of the Congress. And from there, we will broadcast 30-minute highlights of each of these panels that we are talking about today. Let's watch this promo. Hello once again. To those who are still with us here on social media, if you have any questions or comments, please send it in the comment section. If it's about the panels or about the Congress in general, we'll be happy to answer them. And now I'm joined by ISF Seed Health Manager, Rose Richards, who is in charge of not one, but two panels on seed trade. Rose, can you talk to us about these two separate panels on seed trade? Let's start with the one on the systems approach.
Thank you so much, Francine. It's lovely to be here. So we will have the first day on the 16th of May will be dedicated to international seed trade. In the first panel, we'll be talking about a road to systems approach. So we'll be talking about all the activities that ISF has been done for the last 2 years on systems approach, which include working with IPPC, which include also industry briefs. So we have already done quite a lot to be able to raise the awareness of this very important topic, which it is relevant for seeds because we are asking for a recognition of the current processes and procedures that the seed companies are already doing to be able to mitigate risks. So we're going to have a very exciting panel where we're having the lead steward of this annex, which is currently in IPPC. They are being worked on. It will be going to the standard committee. So the lead steward, Marina Slotina from USDA APHIS, will be with us, and she will be providing an update on how is the document is going and what we expect in this to be coming for public consultation. And ISF has already been part of the process of the drafting, where we had one of a nominee from ISF part of the expert group. And now we're hoping that this document, when it's coming out, we'll be able to provide comments too. So she'll be there, join us, unfortunately virtually, because we're still having some countries where restrictions due to COVID still happening, but she'll be there with us, discussing about this document, talking with us about systems approach. And together with her, we also have Mary Langens from BASF. She is the chair of the expert group systems approach here in the ISF. And she'll be talking about all the activities we have been doing, including the launch of 2 videos during this panel, Francine. We have 2 videos where we have been working really hard, and we want to show to all what is the challenges when we're moving seeds across the world, but also what is the proposal from ISF, from the seed sector to systems approach. So we'll have 2 short videos in this panel, and I really hope that everybody appreciate all the message that we're trying to bring. And together with these 2 people, we'll have a representative from the NPPO of New Zealand. So Dr. Joanne Wilson, which is a principal advisor for the Ministry for Primary Industry, she'll be talking from the point of view of the NPPO. What does it mean, this systems approach? Because systems approach has been well known for fruits and vegetables, but this is the first time that has been talked about for seeds. So what that is going to mean from the NPPO side, how much work is going to be for them, how much they will be able to accept this. Do we believe that they will be able to recognize all the process and procedures that the seed companies already put in place? So there will be a very interesting conversation on this. And together with these 3 ladies, we also have Natalia Eraso from the Seed Association of Argentina. Argentina has been one of the first countries to start to actively work on systems approach. To have her with us, having this different way how the NPPO has been implemented, I think this is going to make a very rich conversation on the day. And I really hope everybody will enjoy.
Right. And I know systems approach is part of your daily work. It's part of your daily vocabulary. But for those who are not very familiar with this concept and who are interested in attending the panel, could you give us a bit of a context on why systems approach is so important to the sector?
So what we're proposing is an alternative to the current phytosanitary certification. What we're looking for is that the NPPOs will recognize and authorize the current processes that the seed companies already put in place when mitigating the risk of an entry of a pest or disease. So this is what we're looking for. So there'll be no necessary to be having specific additional declarations on the phytosanitary certification, because it will be all already done by an approval system by the NPPO. And this could be monitoring by auditing, for example, all done by the NPPO of the exporting country. There is a little bit of a difference. We wanted this to be done multilaterally, which before the idea of systems approach is very much bilateral, one country and another country. So the country of import, the country of sale, what the country of production and the country of sale. What we're looking for now is a multilateral one. So we'll have also the country of export, many countries coming together and agree on this system, so we can have a predictive movement of seed, which is very important nowadays, especially with how the regulatory landscape changes so fast. So this is going to be really important for the industry.
Right. And you mentioned seed movement, and that brings me to your second panel, which is about the challenges and opportunities in the seed supply chain. And I know, like Michael mentioned it earlier, this has become a very important topic. This has been on the spotlight, the seed supply chain, especially in light of the war in Ukraine. But I know this panel is also about other things. It's bigger than that. So could you tell us more about this panel?
You're absolutely correct. So it's not just about what is happening politically in the world with the current war, but it also is all the challenges and opportunities that come when we're trying to move seeds internationally. So we're going to have a panel of different people from different organizations that have an impact when we're moving seeds across the world. We start with Dr. Osama Olisi, which is the new IPPC secretary. He will be talking from the IPPC point of view. The international standards so important that the ISF and ISF members has been advocating a long time to be able to use, to harmonize, to provide this predictability when moving seeds across the world. We'll have also a representative from the World Bank talking about public and private partnership, how we can alleviate some of the challenges we have when moving seeds across the world. So this is going to be really important, especially on the work that they're doing at the moment on digitalization, e-phyto, especially on countries in Africa. We'll have also a representative from SCDF, the WTO, so Melvin Spray. He'll be talking about also the WTO agreement, the SPS agreement, which is so very important because it guarantees transparency between the different NPPOs when they are putting the regulations in place. So he will be talking about the work of the WTO and how this have an impact, which means we'll be talking about some of the challenges. And we also going to be talking about with 2 people from the seed industry. We have the chair for the coordination group, Phyto, which is Michael Lead, and also the president of CEST, which is going to be really important. Both of them will be able to bring the perspective from the seed industry, the challenges that we face, in not just from the level of the politics, but also phytocentric, digitalization, public-private partnership, and other challenges that we face when we're moving seeds. So I really hope that everybody will be able to have this opportunity to understand what they are talking and listen to them, and also to participate with questions on the day. So I think it's going to be a very good panel.
Thank you so much, Rose. I really look forward to these panels, and I'm sure all of our delegates are also looking forward to joining this panel, which is happening on the Monday.
On the Monday, the 16th of May. Looking forward to see everybody there. Thank you.
And we want to say hi to those who are joining us on social media. We want to say hi to Rajendra, Marcelo Pacote, your friend,
Hello, Marcelo,
and Hua. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any questions, please send them over to us. And now, before we continue, I'd like to introduce one of the brand new elements of the World Seed Congress 2022. It's the Future Generation event, sponsored by Rexone in Syngenta. Let's see what's going to happen by watching this promo. All right, we're back, and this time I'm joined by ISF Regulatory Affairs Manager, Dr. Szabolcs Rüttner. I've been working for Sabi for about 3 years now, and I know Sabi to be a very competitive guy. So, Sabi, what makes your panel the most interesting one out of the 6?
Yeah, I hope it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure that it's going to be the most interesting, but certainly innovation is key for our industry. These are a key driver. We need innovation for everything. For instance, like Easter is coming and we have this nice chocolate egg, and we would like to enjoy this chocolate egg in the future, but we need to save the cocoa beans from diseases. We need to save it from climate change. So innovation is absolutely crucial. And also innovation is important for ISF because this is the driver of our industry. So it's one of our key strategic objectives to give access and provide the kind of regulatory framework which enables innovation. And what we see a really rapid development in terms of new innovative breeding methods are putting on the hand of the breeders. But the big question, whether we can utilize these methods, because do we have a regulatory framework which enables to use it by big companies, small companies, and the public sector for sure. So in this panel, we with this very high expert panelists, we try to walk around a little bit of the regulatory space, so how the overview of the different regulation globally, but also what kind of interesting products in the pipeline.
Okay. The title of this panel is called Plant Breeding Innovation, the Need for Internationally Aligned and Future-Proof Policies. What does that mean, Sabi? What does future-proofing mean for policies on PBI?
Yeah, it's a little bit connected what I already said, that it's a developing technology, and as every technology, regulator is a little bit behind of the technological advances, which is pretty normal. So what we are trying to thinking how we can make policies which are somehow can last longer, and there is no need for very frequent review. So in the beginning, we get a presentation from. It's not really a presentation, more about an opening, setting the seed speech from Bernie Slutsky. She's the chair of our Plant Breeding Innovation Committee, and she will give a little bit of a perspective what we mean by future proofing policies and how ISF envision this type of policy making process. And after, we got 4 very interesting panelists coming from companies. The first one will be Lisa Zanoni. She's from Inari. This is really a cool startup company delivering cutting-edge technologies for the breeding. So they are based in the US, so it will be interesting to see what is their perspective, what they are working on, and what are their concerns. The second one is it's Mariette Anderson. She is the CEO of Soledits. This is a European company. It's also a kind of new startup kind of company. And as we know, the European attitude towards the latest breeding methods or new genomic techniques, as it's called in Europe, we know that they have a very difficult task operating in this environment. So it's going to be cool to watch that how they cope with this environment. What is the driver that makes them optimistic enough to really operate in this European environment? And then we will have Mark Kuhl from Corteva. He's the global seed development lead. And Corteva, it's a traditional breeding company. So it's interesting to see how they merge traditional breeding, a little bit of genome editing, and how this basically function in their breeding pipeline. And also they are, as we know, they have the open innovation platform. So they are pretty much engaged providing genome editing technologies for smaller companies. So it's really very interesting to see their perspective. And at last, but of course not at least, we will have Voni Estes from the International Fresh Produce Association, bringing a little bit of the perspective of the fruit and vegetable fresh produce sector. And also what is interesting that they are much closer to the consumers. So and for us as a sector, is important to listen what the consumers want, and obviously the fresh produce is a kind of intermediate sector who can help us to understand the consumers' wish, so what they look for, what type of innovation, but also their concerns, what they need. They need more transparency, more information, and this is a very nice and diverse panel which can address those things from different perspectives.
Indeed, you've put together a very interesting and very balanced set of speakers in your panel. What outcomes do you expect to come out of this panel? What conclusions do you hope to make in this discussion?
Yeah, it's difficult to tell. This is the excitement of a panel that you can have a different outcome. Certainly, we are looking for a kind of confirmation that what is the PBI coordination group is doing, our objective, our way of thinking resonates well with the broader community, because our aim is to approach policymakers soon, but we would like to test within our own community first that what we are thinking it's feasible, it's really something we can get this kind of confirmation from a broader industry perspective.
Very well, thank you, Shabi. And then another interesting part of the Congress is, of course, the thematic day, which will happen on the Thursday. And we want to introduce this event to you. You can register for this. Watch this clip. Hi again, everyone. You just saw the promo video for the thematic day, which will happen in Barcelona. We're very excited about this. And with me now in the studio, making his debut in the ISF studio, is Ben Rivoire. Ben, you are going to be in charge of a panel called Transforming Food Systems, the Engagement of the Seed Sector with a Value Chain. And I know that also at ISF Secretariat, you are overseeing the coordination group on the value chain, one of the newest coordination groups of ISF. So how does this panel align with the priorities of the value chain and the overall engagement of the seed sector with them?
Thank you, Francine. And indeed, very important to have this discussion around the food system and, all discussion about agriculture, future, and how the seed sector and the seed industry should also be engaged in that respect, because we should not forget that seed is the starting point of all food production. So in line with what happened last year with the United Nations Food System Summit, but also in line with the seed declaration, where the seed sector engaged to commit to deliver a sustainable food system, it was important indeed that within the ISF strategic key objective to have some elements about the value chain and how the seed sector will contribute to transforming the seed and the food system. So this panel will be very interesting and in line with the engagement and creating this platform of discussion with key partners. We'll have different keynote speakers and panelists to drive the way forward. First and foremost, Dr. Agnes Kalibata will be there. So Dr. Kalibata is the president of the AGRA, the Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa, but also she was last year the UN Special Envoy for the UN Food System Summit. So she will introduce this panel, explaining exactly the key element and next step foreseen in scope with this discussion at the highest level, and also to explain the expectation from the seed sector, from the seed industry towards transforming those food system and agricultural production at large. Then we will also have the presence of Mr. Garcia de Quevedo, who is the Director General of the Food and Industry Beverage Association, and it will be very interesting to get his perspective and from his association on how the seed sector is also playing a key role within, let's say, the food system at large, but also is the vice chair of the business at OECD and the Food Agriculture Committee. And that will be interesting to have his perspective in other international fora also on how the seed sector and the seed industry is playing a role within the food and agriculture at large. Last but not least, we'll have Mr. Navarro, who is our vice chair of this specific coordination group that was created within the new ISF structure, and giving some precise example and success stories from what the industry and key seed companies, major players are doing within the seed sector, are doing in respect to involvement and engagement within the value chain. It will also explain how the industry and this coordination group is also helping to work with all the players, stakeholders along the food value chain, from the growers to the consumer via the retailers, seed distributor, food distributors, food processor, and also see how the seed industry is willing and committed to work along those lines for the coming years. So a lot of exciting elements. So please join us, and we'll be happy also to follow the path for the next years. Thank you.
Right. All right. Thank you, Ben. And now I want to show you another video to thank our sponsors and to invite you all to join us on Channel World Seed live from the studio at the World Seed Congress in Barcelona. We're back. You've heard all of the panels that will be taking place at the World Seed Congress in Barcelona. And now I want to go to some of the questions that we've received on social media. We have a question, Michael, from Marcelo Pacote, who is asking us if we think that after COVID-19, we can have different perspectives for the food systems. How has the pandemic changed our overall outlook?
Yeah, thanks, Francine, and nice to engage with you again, Marcello. Hope to meet you soon again, also in person. First of all, I think, we had very important discussions last, as Ben mentioned, on the Food System Summit, and we all agreed that we have to transform our food systems and the agricultural production. I would not say will be one food system in the future. There will be diverse food systems. Also depending on the regions, but also depending on the agricultural production system behind. The important one is today that we have the discussions and that we agree all which is the overall direction we would like to go. And this is exactly what we would like to have. There are lots of new buzzwords like regenerative agriculture, agroecology, all these production systems somehow now starting to pop up. And I think we need to take them all. And we as a seed sector, in any case, we will contribute to all of them. But what is important for us is to be part of the debate, to think about also with companies launching such approaches, to think together with the seed sector, hey, if we would like to change the agricultural production system, this should start also with the seeds. And therefore, I think we are all aware on where we are coming from with COVID. We know today, and I think we should remind everybody, therefore it's so important to sit down together again. We have 200 million more people hungry today than before COVID crisis. That means there's no excuse for anybody now to not sit down together and to think about it. Again, there will be different food systems, but in any case, the seeds needs to be part of the debate.
Michael, one of the new things that we're doing in this World Seed Congress is the setup of the panels. In previous congresses, it used to be open meetings that are linked to the committees, and now we're shifting to a more thematic approach to our panels and our discussions. What was the idea behind this?
It was triggered somehow with the whole reshape of the structure of ISF, but it's not shaping and reshaping and even shaking an associations like ours. It's rather to think about, hey, what are our goals? And this was where it all started 2 years back, 3 years back now, when we reworked on our key strategic objectives. We felt we have 5 big topics to address. And based on these 5 big topics, we worked out and 3, you don't see it here, but we will a lot of communicate around this with hundreds of actions somehow we need to work on and we need to deliver. And therefore, what is important for us as an association also, hey, what is our main goal? Is to follow need to direct more follow the priorities of them, which are our priorities also. And I think this triggered also the overall setup of new panels and not more like in past, the overall setting with the open meetings.
All right, we seem to have a bit of a shift in our technical setup, but that's okay. Michael, lastly, the thematic day. We showed a nice video earlier of what the thematic day will look like and how is this part of the whole ISF engagement with the value chain. Would you like to invite everyone to join this one?
Oh, absolutely. And I would like to thank our colleagues from ANOVA, and I would like to thank all our colleagues in Spain who thought about, hey, what is the asset also that the whole seed world is coming to Spain? And we know food production is absolutely critical in Spain. This relationship also between the seed sector, retailers and food processors is critical and it's interesting. And I think there will be an absolutely exciting debate about also innovation and food production. I think to come there together, and the setup is different than our setup, which is a lot much broader discussion, because it will be more concrete, also going more into details in food processing details. And on top of this, and I think therefore I would like to invite really everybody to join, to register today. We only launched it some days back, I remember, and we have now yet over 35 registered people, which is good because space is limited.
Yes.
You need to hurry up to register to this one.
We would definitely want more. We don't want people to miss this.
Exactly.
It will be in a very interesting place. Michael, describe to us where it will be held.
It will be the Marca-Bene, I hope I pronounce it well, and it's the biggest market, which is somehow open the whole day, and you can eat all foods and find all foods in Barcelona. Totally exciting area. And on top of this, what will be really somehow what I could say, which should trigger your registration, that you can taste. You can taste food, which is cooked by world-class cookers, two brothers who are one-star Michelin cookers somehow, and therefore it's absolutely exciting to go there, to taste with us, to go there and
I will definitely not want to miss that. So everyone who is registered to the Congress, you can still register to the thematic day. Please join us on Thursday. It will be a really, really good event. Now, Michael, any final words just to wrap up this session on the panels and the overall excitement for the Congress?
I'm thinking we are totally thrilled here in the office to meet again all of our members, and just to give you one other information, we didn't speak about the opening ceremony, which will be a most important moment also for us to engage with all our members, over 1,000 people sitting in this room together with us. And what is good to see, and I think we used also the last 2 years to engage further with the international organizations like FAO, and we will have a video message from the General Director of FAO. Also, somehow I hope he will highlight the importance of private-public partnerships, but also engagement on seed in general with FAO. There will be many, many other things happening during this opening ceremony, because it's also a moment where we speak about the legacy. We speak also about people who were with us during many years, who will become honorary life member. That means totally exciting to see also all these folks again after a couple of years. Therefore, those who have not yet registered, join us, come. We have still space for everybody.
We will always have space for everybody. But of course, we know that not everyone will be there. So reminder for those who are following us on social media, on site, we will have a studio located in the exhibition area of the Congress. And from there, we will broadcast 30-minute highlights of the panels that you just heard about from our technical team. Again, very excited to have all of you there. You can all register until when, Michael?
Oh, the 10th of May.
Exactly.
But you can even come on site and register on site.
Yes.
There's no limitation.
Registration.
No excuse.
No excuse. And keep checking our website, congress.worldseed.org, for all the information you need about your participation to the World Seed Congress. Again, see you all there. Nos vemos a Barcelona.
See you there.
See you there. Bye.
Bye-bye.